let's try this again. Hello. I am going to attempt to vlog 12 months of trying to do both of the Buzzword Readathon Challenges by Books and Lala. I'm quite excited about this. This will be the first year I have ever participated. So really like super thrilled to potentially be able to do all, I think it's technically 24 prompts with this. The first ones for January are, I'll put the little graphics that she made right here. But for January, the first one is before and after. That's the word part of the challenge. And for that, I chose The Murder After the Night Before because it has both of the words in it. This is about a girl that she goes on a bachelorette trip with her best friend, and her best friend is dead. Yes. Something bad happened last night. I've woken up with the hangover from hell, a stranger in my bed, and I've gone viral for the worst reasons, but I can't remember a thing. My best friend Posey is dead. The police think it was a tragic accident. I know she was murdered. There's only one thing stopping me from dying of shame. I need to find a killer. A wickedly witty and utterly addictive novel from the author of How to Kill Men and Get Away with It. Okay, so maybe it isn't a bachelorette party. I have confidently mixed that up with something else, but it has both of the words in it. Like how perfect is this for this challenge? I will start it today. Obviously I have not started it yet. Today is the 15th, so I have exactly half of the month to finish both of these. The other challenge is the cover challenge, and it is like internal body parts. So like things that should be on the inside of your body, but you can see on the cover. And for this one, I chose A Natural History of Dragons because you can see the skeletal and muscle structure of the dragon on the cover. And I've been looking for an excuse to read that book for years at this point, but I'm really happy I hadn't until now because I don't think I would have properly appreciated it if I had read it before. But now, since I've read books that are in that same genre, time period, like educational density, if that makes sense, I think I can now appreciate it a lot better than I would have normally. But anyway, y'all know the drill. I'm out in front of the gym. So obviously this reading will not start right away, but I hope to come back with an update of this later today. So I won't be explaining that. Actually I will. Alyssa got that from a firefighter safety, like house fire safety course that the firefighters put on at the girls' school. And for some reason felt the need to hang it up in my car. So anyway, what you all are actually here for. I am about 50 pages in so far. It's okay. I definitely did not expect the beginning to be so heavy. This girl, her name is Molly. She wakes up to a hangover from the office Christmas party that was the day before. Doesn't remember anything that happened. There's a strange man in her bed, and she's trying to kind of like piece together any memories she has, but they're really just not worth anything. But when she gets to work, it's revealed that a video of her doing something questionable has gone viral, and it's basically the fallout of that is what we're following so far. But honestly, the amount of shaming and disrespect that she's going through is honestly making me very uncomfortable. It's not a spoiler because it says it on the back. We've not even like discovered that her best friend is dead yet. and I already feel sad. So like, I thought this book was gonna be like a comedy, and I don't think it is so far. Does anything funny, touching, horrifying, and surprising? Yeah, Catherine Cooper. I don't even know who you are, but I agree with your review. Anyway, I'm hoping to get about halfway today, so that would be about 110-ish more pages. I have a couple errands to run, but first I'm gonna do a little book shopping at McKay's. I have decided that today is gonna be pretty much like personal stuff that I want to get done, not so much work. I will do work tomorrow because sometimes you just have to put off work for one more day, and I need a mental health day, so that's what we're gonna do. This is not the most ideal angle, but I'm folding laundry really quick because I am going to be taking the girls to play Pokemon after school. As some of you all know, because you know me personally, my husband plays the Pokemon TCG, and which is the trading card game. And Alyssa, whoop, did that help? I'm knocking things over. That literally makes no difference. Alyssa has gotten into it as well, which is fun because now they get to have little like daddy-daughter dates going to go play Pokemon. However, it ends up with situations like today where Bo and I get to go with them because we didn't want to stay at home tonight. So I went to McKay's. I found, oh gosh, okay. I did arms yesterday. My arms hurt. Anyway, I went to McKay's, had a good little time, but I found a few things and I wanted to show you all. The first thing, literally, like first thing walked in the door, and I found Lost Gods by Brahm. I've never read a Brahm book, but this thing is massive. And I've heard his books are really intense and scary. Also, there's pictures in the middle. That's terrifying. What other pictures are there? I feel like I'm accidentally spoiling myself for something. That's okay. I'm not going to remember all this by the time I read this. Yeah. This other thing, I don't want y'all to judge me too harshly for these. These are the Daisy Hates books in the Magnolia Parks series. Also, it was a day of very large paperbacks, which is fine by me because that's probably my preferred way of reading things. But that one is The Great Undoing. And this one is just Daisy Hates. These covers are insane. I have heard these books are just so unapologetically messy and crazy that I couldn't say no. You know, got this for Alyssa. Somehow we went to White Pine and only came back with like the second, third, and fourth one of these, not the first one. Found the first one. You all don't care. This one was a very questionable purchase for me. I only own the first book in this. I've not even read it yet. This is the fourth one. When did this come out? Because I feel like this came out really recently. Ooh, there's pictures in this one as well. How fun. Ooh. Is this a poster? Oh no, it's just the map. I don't know if you all are like me or not, but when I read a fantasy book, I do not look at the map. I don't care, because I'm not going to remember where everything is. So maps literally do nothing for me except tell me, yay, fantasy. That's literally all they do for me. Let's see. Where's Where's the copyright date? Give me the information that no one looks at. Oh, 2020. 2020. Okay, so this is not the newest one, but still. And I didn't have to pay a single dollar for it. So I'm quite excited about that. If we take out Alyssa's Pokemon book, I got some pretty hefty, chunky books today. So maybe if I hold them on this side, you all can actually see them. So yeah, I think I did a pretty good job today. Still no more reading of that book, but I will be taking it to the gym with me because I think I'm just gonna hop on the treadmill and not do anything else. So I will hopefully update you all here in just a little bit. Okay, so I wanted to really quickly update you all. I'm out running errands, but I realized I had not talked to you all for a second. I'm a little over 100 pages into the book. It's getting better. She found her best friend dead. I will not spoil much else that happens. But she's starting to think that her best friend dying was not an accident and that somebody murdered her. And so now we're getting to the, let me see if I can prove that she didn't actually die by accident. I am starting to not trust the guy that was in her apartment, or her bed or whatever. I'm starting to not trust him. He's a little too helpful, but I also don't know if he's just being too helpful because he's a nice guy. I don't want to just automatically assume that he's actually the person that's evil, but that's kind of where my brain is headed. Okay, so real quick, because I'm running behind today. I finished this. I gave it 4.5 stars. I don't think I've ever been so angry at a book that I have then enjoyed as much as I did this one. Sorry, there's all sorts of people in the gym parking lot right now. This book made me angry. The amount of people who, men specifically, that were shaming the main character, telling her that she was just being overly sensitive and crazy, like not taking her seriously even a little bit, made me so angry. Because every woman has had that situation of a man being like, well, you're just being hysterical, or you're just letting your emotions take control. Like, she was trying to investigate the murder of her best friend. She's not being hysterical. She's making good points. She's got the evidence to back it up. Why are we not taking her seriously, you know? It honestly just made me angry because she is getting taken advantage of by these men, and they're all just acting so smug and like they know better, and it's frustrating, but it's also incredibly accurate and real, and I'm like, nah, like I'm just mad about it. Anyway, really good book. I understand the ratings on Goodreads that are saying like, well, Molly's not a really like reliable character. She's very naive. She's very unaware of how the world works. I don't think Molly's supposed to be a very likable character. Like, I think you're supposed to be annoyed with her, and I think you're supposed to be like, okay, like, I understand you have trauma, but you've got bigger fish to fry, you know? Like, I think that is how you're supposed to see her. but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I thought Molly was really relatable because I, in the past, have been that naive person, and so I thought it was a very real and a very genuine way of portraying somebody. But ultimately, 4.5 stars. It made me mad. It was good though. Like, and it completed the challenge of before and after, because it literally had both words in the title. But on to more scholarly things. This next book is more, I think it's supposed to be like Victorian England, but it's a time period adjacent to the one that we got in real life, because there are dragons, which I love dragons. Dragons are my favorite mythical creatures, so this just seemed fitting. This is A Natural History of Dragons by Marie Brennan. I'm sure you've seen this everywhere, probably about 6 or 7 years ago, because that's when I started noticing it was really popular. But the cover challenge is internal body parts, and you can see the muscle structure, you can see the wings, you can see bones. Like, I think this has got it all. I'm really excited about this one. This has been on my radar for a really long time. I just keep putting it off, but now I have no reason to, because it's actually for the challenge. I probably won't start this until later today, but I will come back when I'm about 50 pages in. Okay, so y'all are seeing me at this really unflattering angle because I'm so tired that I didn't feel like holding the camera, the phone. Let's be honest, it's my phone. I am 20 pages into A Natural History of Dragons. I have not updated you all in a couple days. Today's the 22nd, but I'm really hoping I can finish this book here in the next day or two, because I'm so tired. I was hoping that it would be the same level of intellectual as like Veronica Speedwell or something along those lines. I did not realize it was going to be so information heavy at the front, which I should have known that, because this feels like a very academic book. So I should have known that, but I didn't. Also, the deckled edges are just as difficult as I remember. I try to actively avoid deckled edges because I have a really difficult time like flipping the pages, because I end up getting like 2 or 3 at a time instead of just one. And that's definitely happening with this. Also, my boss saw this and thought I was reading a textbook. So, and I told him it kind of felt that way. Also, I don't remember the last time I read the inside of the dust jacket. I didn't realize that Lady Trent's first name was Isabella. So when she called herself that just a few pages ago, I was like, I don't know who that is. So I need to read this much today. There's like 150 pages. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but hopefully I can read as much of this as humanly possible today, because what I don't want to happen is I don't want to still be reading this book when the snow pops up, because we're supposed to be getting snow over the weekend. I don't know how true that is. Yeah, typically Knoxville's not really known for getting snow during the winter, but I really would like to get some this time, because Christmas was kind of a letdown because it was like almost 70 degrees. So yeah, I want some snow, like not enough that we would be trapped, but it would be kind of nice to get some snow. So I'm hoping I can finish this before the snow so that I can read some cozier books while I am stuck inside my house. Okay, so it's been a minute. It is now January 28th, so I'm cutting this really close. Also, new hat. I got a new hat, so I'm not only wearing the pink one all the time. I did get my hair cut finally. So yeah, nobody asked, but I feel much better because when my hair starts to get a little too long, I kind of go insane. So this feels nice. Even though it is freezing cold outside and not having any hair is making it difficult. But I still have like 160 pages of this book left. I don't know what's taking me so long. Also, I tried to motivate myself by putting Post-it notes in there. It didn't work. I fell into such a nasty reading slump in the middle of this. And I'm really not 100% sure why. This book literally hits so many of the story beats that I really enjoy. It's nerdy, there's an adventure, you get to hear all about the logistics of like them prepping and planning for all the different excursions they go on. I don't know. I should just be absolutely devouring this and loving it. And I am loving it. I just don't know why it's taking me so long to actually get back to reading this, but I'm hoping that over the course of today, I will finish this. As I showed you all, it is snowing. There's like easily 5 or 6 inches of snow outside. It is currently January 31st and I still am not finished with this book. I will be finishing it today because I have to. Please do not pay attention to how absolutely crazy and gray my hair looks. But I'm gonna sit here and listen to my Half Moon Joe streams, which if you don't watch him, you absolutely should. He's hilarious. Anyway, I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna review these books and then this vlog will be done. So hello. It is not still January. It's February 1st, but I did officially finish the Buzzword in time. It was just very late at night and I didn't feel like filming. Oh, but before I forget, I wanted to come and review these books for you all because I had one really good win and I had one that was really disappointing, and I think you all can tell which one is which. But I'm gonna start with the one I started with, which is The Murder After the Night Before. This was really good. I ended up giving it a 4.5. The only thing I did not like was that the beginning made me so frustrated with every single male character in this book. The beginning was just aggravating, and it got to the point where I almost didn't want to finish the book because I got so like irritated with everybody. All the men, just the men. But I think as far as the female characters, I think as far as our main character's determination to find out what actually happened, I think it was really good. And I've seen a lot of people online saying that this character is not very likable. She's not. But her naivety about the way the world works and the way she's just kind of fumbled through her life is very relatable, and I thought she was a very real character. Even if that did end up making her very unlikable, I still really enjoyed it. I highly recommend this for anybody who reads a lot of domestic thrillers. It's not going to be very thrilling, but it is going to hit a lot of the same beats that I think you would be familiar with, and it was a good time. Now, at one point, I think actually at one point in this video, I said this could be a 5-star read. I was horribly incorrect. So this ended up being a 3. And that is A Natural History of Dragons. I am so disappointed. I have thought about this book for years. Every time I see it, I'm like, you know, I should pick that up. I never really fully understood my hesitation, but now I kind of wish I had listened to my hesitation. This book is far prettier than it has any business being. The first half of this book had me hooked. Her meeting her husband, them both being passionate about dragons, and and just watching her get to be the scholarly woman that most of her peers don't want to be, nor do they even think that's even a possibility, is really fun. But once you get to the actual expedition half, there's very little to actually do about dragons. I think the book needs to read a little bit more exciting than a textbook, because by the time you got to the middle, it felt very textbooky, which I think could have been good, but I don't know. I expected more dragons, and this was just a whole lot of, I am a woman and this is why I'm treated this way in society, that I didn't love. There was an interesting little development towards the end, but it got swept under the rug so quickly. I was frustrated by it. And by the time I got to the end, I really was just skimming because it didn't matter anymore. Like, I just didn't care. And it's really disappointing because I was really excited about reading on in this series, and now I just don't think I'm going to. I was disappointed by this, which I thought I was going to be the outlier, because so many of the reviews on Goodreads are like, yeah, it's fine, but like, it's just okay. You know, there are a bunch of 5 stars. Like, don't get me wrong, this book does have a lot of 5 stars, but I thought I would be the one person that would be like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is the best book ever. No, I actually just fit right into the general public on this one. But anyway, this was for internal body parts, by the way, because obviously, like, there's a ton of different. Anyway, we got a 4.5 star. We got a 3 star. I'm frustrated it took me this long to read them, but I got to finish reading it on a snow day, which was pretty exciting. The next one is February, which I think is a silhouette and keyboard keys. And I do already have the 2 books picked out, but you'll have to wait until the middle of February to see what I think of them. So anyway, month 1 of the Buzzword Reading Challenge is complete, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Bye!